Hello, it is time to start the show. And I'm going to get started right after this.
And welcome everyone to another episode of the Niner Sickness Podcast. This episode is dedicated to our beloved friend that would always, forever be within our hearts. He has made an impact to many of us in the 49er community. For those that met him in person, he's made an impact to us individually. Korey Davis, this is for you. We love you, man. We miss you. And I am accompanied with my buddy, my brother from a different mother, Mr. David McNiner. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. I'm glad to be here. Glad to honor my good friend Korey Davis, and I miss him greatly.
Yeah, he's the type of person that he can impress. He can make that impression upon you. He was always kind, always loving, supportive of everything you did. The gentleman was just out of this world. When Korey makes an impression, it is really hard not to. It's very hard to forget him because of everything he's done. Let me make room here because we got someone else coming in to join us. Let me bring him in. He needs no introduction. This man right here is a faithful father, husband, great friend of ours, great for the community of football. He loves his Batman, and I love this guy more than he will ever know. I have so much respect for my friend, Mr. Brian. How you doing, sir?
Hey, everybody. Thank you. I feel really honored to be here. I feel, my brother, he asked me a short, little last minute, if I could help, and I had to help him run and move some stuff around in his garage. So I bailed on my show this evening. We will be rescheduling and moving it to Friday. But again, thank you so much for doing this and having me and David on. Korey Davis he's a blessing. If you got to meet him, if you didn't get to meet him, go check his videos out because he lives with us. And if you watch any of his videos for a little bit of time, you truly can grow and gain a friend. So thank you.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure to have you, Brian. I didn't send an invite at the beginning because I don't know if you guys were going to be busy. I was telling David earlier that I completely forgot about your guys' show on Monday. I had set it up for last night, but then I knew the Detroit Lions and the Rams were playing, and I didn't want people to not come to the show because of the game, so I decided just to do the game and move it today. And I appreciate you guys coming in because if anybody knows Korey, it's definitely the both of you. So we're going to spend this evening acknowledging Korey, bringing up memories about Korey, talking about the playoffs, talking about the Niners, but more talking about the impact that Korey did in our lives as a friend to all of us and individually memories that we may have. But before we proceed, let's go ahead and acknowledge all and everyone in the chat. We got John in the house. What's up, John? We got East Coast Red and Gold in the house. We got Royalty. We got Jess.
Hey, Jess.
In the house. My boy Tim. What's up, Tim? Welcome back. I sweat my feet, bro. Saludos. Salute to you too, my friend. Thank you for popping in. We know this gentleman right here. I wonder who he is. Kind of looks like the guy on the screen. Could be him. We got to make sure it's not an imposter, though. And then we got one of our winners of yesterday's prizes. It's that kid, 916 in the house. What's up, my brother? Thank you for coming in, man. Thank you for showing love for Korey. You guys are amazing. You guys are amazing. We got Dawn, my little sis. Royalty. This lady here, she's an amazing woman, a mother of two, a wife of a husband that unfortunately roots for the Raiders, but you can't win them all. But she's an amazing woman. She follows my show with conviction. She supports a lot of the 49er community. So I just want to give her props. She's amazing. We got Cardcast in the house. What's up, Cardcast? How you doing, young man? Good to see you. I want to make sure I acknowledge everyone before I bring up the comments. We got Mr. Joe in the house, another winner yesterday. Congratulations on winning the sticker yesterday. We got Daniel Burry Sports in the house. What's up, Daniel? Good to see you, my friend. We got Crazy Juice in the house. What's up, Crazy Juice? How you doing? We got Blue Turf. Oh, Blue True One. My bad.
Blue Tree.
I read it down here, and it was the writings on my screen are so small that I got to figure out how to make these bigger. Freddie in the house. What's up, Freddie? Guzman in the house. How you doing, sir? Welcome. Daniel Cantu's in the house. What's up, Daniel? Welcome. We got Tommy Huxley in the house. And we know who this gentleman is. Batman. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. Batman. My brother from a different mother. We got Nick in La Casa. What's up, Nick? We got Brandon in the house. What's up, my brother? Brandon. Great guy, Brandon, man. We got Niners fan 26 in the house. Great guy as well. All right. So I'm going to be reading the comments periodically as we come together with David and Bryant. And as we go through memory lane and we talk about our brother, Korey Davis, who, for me, he's made a huge impression. I know he did the same for all of you. David, right off the bat, give me one memory of Korey that you want to just share with everyone. Something that he kind of impressed you, maybe something he said it was funny, whatever it is, share with us, brother.
Well, you know what? When I first met him, it was just in YouTube chats. You know, he'd say hello, and I'd say, "What's up, Korey?" And then one day I saw he had his YouTube channel, and he was doing pick shows. I was like, huh? So I hopped in there, and he was just so happy that I was there, and it's like he's just the nicest guy. So how could I not watch, and be there with him doing picks? Then, if you go to his channel, folks, and rewind to the beginning of his lives, I think it's the fourth or fifth one in. But that's when I started hopping on with Korey. And he's the nicest dude. We'd talk about everything. It didn't really matter. But just whenever he would laugh, it was just infectious. And yeah, he'd always laugh at my BS. I'm full of it too. Yep.
Yeah, I hear you. What about you, Brian? What's one of your impressions that you got from Korey when you first met him? If you don't mind sharing with everyone.
A good impression of Korey when you're around him. Yes, he brings some energy. He's not the clown necessarily, but he has jokes, and he slips them in there at the right moment too. And it's very funny because you don't expect him to say anything funny or anything, in maybe that manner or in that particular situation. So it would be fun to hear him, pipe up and say certain things at particular times, like an icebreaker at moments. I always looked at him like an older brother. He called me his brother, and I really thought that was awesome. I'm a big brother, so for somebody to reach out and tell me, I'm their little brother and really mean it, I really took a liking to and a kindness to. And what I'm getting at is when there would be like maybe not, because Korey had a lot of hangout shows, and he went on a lot of other people's shows that did hangout shows, and they talk for a long time about different sport topics and stuff like that. And sometimes they went different ways, and necessarily the topic would get off maybe direction. But Korey, when he wasn't there, someone would be talking a certain way. Korey wasn't necessarily the referee, but what Korey did, when you got to a certain point, you didn't talk around Korey like that. You give Korey respect, and you didn't talk to other people in that manner around Korey, because Korey, again, you showed Korey respect. And then there was times where Korey did have to step up and tell somebody, hey, to calm down, and they did. They listened, and that's one thing that I always thought was like very, because again, Korey, you look at Korey, you could see Korey was going through things. Korey had moments where he was in pain, and he wasn't feeling the best. But when Korey spoke, people listened to Korey. So there was times, all kinds of times, that Korey said something that made an impression on me. I think going through the rest of my life, I'll just close my eyes at times and listen, and I'll hear his voice and think of something that he said, or think of something or how he'll say it, or give me advice of what, I can't read his mind or tell you exactly what he would tell me, but I do believe, like I can close my eyes and think of what Korey would recommend me in a certain situation. And, that's the kind of vibes that Korey always give me. And, yeah, Korey's just amazing, really amazing guy.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember, like I was telling David, I've known Korey for about 2 years, going up to 3 years. I remember him when he first started coming onto the YouTube scene, just as a guest on people's shows. And one of the things I loved about Korey, of the many things, is that he used to send me pictures of him and his tricycle. He had like a three-wheel bike, and he used to love riding that. He always goes for rides, and he used to take pictures of locations where he was at, and he would share with me, and just watching him have fun, watching himself enjoy with his family, his brother, those that rode with him. This guy was full of life. And sometimes the question that a lot of us ask each other is like, why do bad things happen to good people, right? And it's like, it's a $1 million question. Like, why do not that bad people deserve ugly things either, but it's like, man, when you have a person like Korey, why him? At least that's what I ask. Why him? But only God knows. He only knows. But all I know is heaven gained a wonderful, beautiful angel, and cancer, something like I was telling David earlier. My niece is dealing with cancer, breast cancer. She's going through it right now, and cancer is no respectful of persons. But Korey fought to the very end. He never gave in to it. He was always active. There were days you can tell he was going through it, but I see him always on your guys' show. You guys will do your show, and Korey will be doing his things. I kind of regret that I didn't enjoy a lot of those shows with you guys, but I would watch it as a replay, and I'll see him, out there with this comic, or not comic, but his trivia book, or books, plural, and just loving life, man. And he put things into perspective for me. He's like, man, because I deal with chronic pain. I'm always in pain, and it's hard. Sometimes it's depressing, and I got to fight through it. But Korey encouraged me. This guy had stage 4 cancer, and he's smiling, and he was out there bringing up questions about football. He loved his Niners. So he was always one that would always remind me that, hey, I'm not the only one facing things in my life. A lot of us are going through things individually, and he showed me how to be positive through them. And that's something that I would always love about Korey, man. It's just a gentle giant. And it was a privilege. And now I'm glad that I went, because I almost didn't make it when we all got together and we got to meet him. I am so glad that I was able to push through my pain and go, because that's something that it can never be taken away from me. The opportunity of meeting you guys, but meeting Korey in person with him, and sharing pictures with him. So Korey was amazing. He will continue to be amazing. And the guy is just, I tell this to everyone, whether you like football, whether you are a Niner fan or not, people of other teams may talk all the crap about the Niners. Oh, the Niners this, the Niners that. But they always had a standard of respect for Korey. They might not have liked his team, but they had respect for Corey. And for those that did it, for those that kind of crossed the line, Corey had a lot of friends that had his back. Those guys would either were depending on what channel we were on or where we were at, they will get blocked because we were not allowed not even an inch of disrespect for a man that did not deserve it. Right, guys?
Yep, there's
That's
only
right.
been one person that I've ever blocked from my channel, and it was one person that said something disrespectful about Corey, and I seen the comment before. I think he read it. I hope he didn't read it, and I just no, not gonna do that. I mean, people look the way they look. Okay, you can't help it. You know, sometimes you're whatever, you won the lottery. Some people didn't win the lottery. Some people want the guy with the glasses. Okay, I'm lucky my wife likes me with glasses. Okay, or just likes me enough that she puts up with the glasses. But to have somebody come in and attack you because they're in a different room, they're in a different world, a different, wherever they're at in their life, and they're using their fingers, their keyboard, whatever, to say something rude and cruel. It doesn't make anybody feel good. And if someone is going through a bad moment in their life, or they're hurting and they're in pain or something, that those little attacks are pointless, and they're really just cruel. And at a certain point, do you really feel good about writing that after you've written that later on? When you look back the next day or 10 days later, do you really feel good that you called someone an F, a fat F or whatever? You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make me feel good. One thing that Korey did teach me, and I think you guys know too, I try to be very polite and very respectful to everybody. And it's not that people are rude to me or disrespectful to me either, but there's sometimes I don't maybe necessarily get along with everybody. And then there's been times where I'm like, okay, it's just been maybe too many times I've clashed, or maybe, I don't think it's we're going to see eye to eye. But Korey is the type of guy that says, no, there's room for everybody. And even if you don't see eye to eye necessarily, there's still room for everybody. And I didn't necessarily get that at first. And what I mean by that is you still want to be somewhere, right? You want to go somewhere where everybody knows your name, you feel good, you feel comfortable. And even if you're not like the same fan or the same, you like red instead of blue, or, you like cherry instead of grape, doesn't mean that you weren't accepted with Korey. And like you said too, Korey was on so many people's channels and they had their own perspective about certain things. But Korey still was accepted there because Korey was very accepting on his channel. And he taught me, no matter, like your differences, you might have sometimes be an argument, or, maybe you're upset with somebody for a moment. It's still important to invite them on. It's still important to invite them on, because they're in their own world. They might be hurting in their own moment, or need somebody. Sometimes people don't say that they need you, because they don't necessarily need it. And, like you said, sometimes, like you said about depression, sometimes people are depressed and they are hurting, and people don't see it. They don't see it. They don't say it. They don't know it. And when you do have somebody that says hello to you or welcomes you on, it makes you feel better. And that's one thing about Korey is Korey reached out to me when I was in one of our friends' channels, and David was there, and Korey asked me to come on his show, and I felt really, really honored. Like, hey, this is really cool. And then afterwards, he asked me to come back, and he asked me to come back again, and I was like, wow, they really like me, or this guy's just really friendly. And I think it was a little bit of both. So again, Korey has so many lessons. One other thing I wanted to say is Korey, because he cares about people, he wants other people to, be nice and remember people as well. And Korey, when it was someone's birthday, he'd reach out to other people and tell them, hey, make sure you say hello to somebody. It's so and so's birthday today. And he would then go and tell someone else. And then he'd go and tell. So you'd have like 10 or 20, so many people telling you happy birthday, because Korey made sure that he got the notice out, and told everybody, hey, so Korey always remembered the little things. And that's really the smallest things are the most important things.
Aren't they? That is so true. A lot of times we can remember the big things, but the little things that are detailed by Korey, and he's always, listen, it's hard to encourage someone when you're going through it yourself. It's hard to try to lift somebody else up when you're feel like you're below water. but Corey had that always that special gift of you knew he was struggling because it showed in his face expressions, but he never stopped smiling. He never stopped laughing as much as he could, and he was always making that impression to everyone. Uh, David, man, it hasn't been long since he's been gone. I know a lot of us miss him, but have you ever encountered anyone that you might have talked about Corey that brought Corey up in a positive way? I'm trying to stay away from the negatives uh, uh, of things that were said about Corey, like Brian said earlier. We have no control what we look like, and the fact that if you judge somebody or if you make a comment about someone's looks, weight, or color of their skin, that's just idiotic and stupid. And honestly, I don't need friends like that, or I don't need people like that in my life at all. If you can't see past that, I have to question what kind of person are you? So I'm not going to jump too much into the negatives. We're going to keep this positive. Another thing before I give it to David is, yes, this is a Niners show. We talk 49ers, but today's stream is particularly for remembering Corey Davis. We will talk 49ers. We will talk playoffs, in and out. But if you're hearing us talk a lot about Corey, this is why this live went on today. So if you feel like, okay, I want to hear Niners and I'm not hearing, hey, if you want to move on and watch another live, by all means, no disrespect to no one, but understand you're going to hear a lot about Corey because this is what the show's about, is remembering Corey. So just a heads up for those that are coming in. Go ahead, David.
So I honestly don't remember anyone saying anything bad about Corey. You know, that comment on Bryant's stream, I don't think I even saw it. He got it pretty fast. But he's just the nicest guy. Wherever he would go, he was welcome. Um, I don't think anyone ever said anything bad about him. You know, he's a great guy. A lot of folks don't know that he was actually a school teacher at one point in time in his life. Very patient man, understanding, and he did hang out on a lot of different shows, you know, that us 49ers fans don't know about because those channels aren't related to the 49ers. And he was welcome everywhere he went. You know, no one ever disrespected him. Even Rudy and the guys in his chat don't disrespect Corey. And we all know how those guys are, folks. So he was a great man. I just, I would literally, when Corey's show was coming up, if I had something going on, I would drop what I'm doing to be there. I don't think I ever missed a show where he invited me to be on with him because he was one of the greatest people I've ever met. You know, and the one thing that sticks out here is we're on his channel, you know, on a trivia NFL picks hangout show, the Friday night show, whatever. We're on his channel. We get off subject and start talking about other sports. He would remind us, "Hey, this is a football channel."
Yeah, that he did.
It would be funny. We'd be talking sometimes, and he wouldn't necessarily agree with me, but then I would make a good point. And just a couple minutes later, David would maybe agree with me a little bit, but he would say it in just a little bit different of a way. And then Corey would later say, "Well, I agree. I think I would go with David McNider." And I'd look back and I'd look at Tony later and I'd be like, "Isn't that the same thing I said?" You know, like, but he would. It wasn't that, you know, like he wasn't afraid to take defeat or, you know, say he was wrong or not. No, Corey had a lot of class. Corey was so funny. He would go into other people's channels too and say that, you know, he said so and so was a bust. Oh, I think he did that with Matthew Stafford. He said Matthew Stafford wouldn't win the Super Bowl, and then he had to go back into like everybody's channel and say, hey, I'm sorry, and take his bow, and say I'm so sorry. But and then this year it's really funny because when we first started, I was given not a hard time, but I like saying stuff that's like funny with words sometimes and like coin it, right? And I've been saying a lot, season of love, the season of love, and I don't know, he just doesn't like not Aaron Rodgers, but well, he doesn't like Aaron Rodgers, but he doesn't like the Green Bay Packers' new quarterback Jordan Love. And as the season was growing, he started coming around. He started coming around and started saying, maybe it is the season of love. And I love it because Korey started giggling. And when you hear Korey giggle, it's truly it's beautiful.
It sure is. So, the Niners are in the playoffs. Corey was a big fan, super fan of the San Francisco 49ers, and we're going to keep his memory around 49er football. We're going to be his eyes here on earth. And the Niners got to get this quest for six. It's not even about Santa Clara. It's not even about winning the sixth Lombardi. It's about winning it for Corey. And I know the Niners probably don't even know who he is, but we do. And we want the Niners to win. The Niners are sitting at home, resting. They're almost 2 weeks. The Brock hasn't played an actual meaningful game. You got the Packers that went into Dallas. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's never done before where a 7 seed has beaten a 2 seed. I think this is the first time in history. Brian, what you saw from the Green Bay Packers, what impressed you more, the Packers being as good as they did, or the Cowboys being as bad as they were?
Well, I believe in the Packers. So I wasn't too impressed that, they did what they did because I've been believing in him. I think that Jordan Love, he can dink and dunk, if you want to say. He has the ability to throw a really nice pass, and his wide receivers do get open. He almost seems to be like in the pocket, you're like, oh, I think he's going to throw the ball away, or I think we're going to, sack him. And he has this like throwaway where he's falling down type of pass. And then sooner or later, one of his wide receivers or tight ends catch it. And right now, Green Bay has a really good running attack. That's one thing that I'm a little worried about as 49ers, because I don't think we do very well against the run. But as far as them going to Dallas and beating Dallas, I think Dallas was like 31 and something. Dallas hasn't lost at home for like 2 years. So that's something to be said. And then for them to come in and beat them, but just history, the Cowboys and the Packers have had the Cowboys number, but that was with other quarterbacks. So, seeing Jordan Love come in, and then they probably could have put up a lot more points, and they took the foot off. They did. They took their foot off the gas, and next thing you know, here comes Dallas getting some, I don't know if you want to call them garbage point time or garbage stats, but they were getting closer and closer. And I think that's why, if I'm correct, they had the backup quarterback in, and then they had to put the starter back out there. So, Jordan Love, really good quarterback. I'm really excited to see how they will play against us. I think we are a blue collar team and that matches up really well with them, and I'm really excited to see it because I think they're a little tougher than a lot of people give them credit for. So I think everybody's got the blueprint on how to beat Dallas.
Yeah, Jordan Love was very impressive, man. For a second there, I had to double check, make sure it wasn't what's his name? I forgot his name already. Aaron Rodgers. I was going to say Brett Favre. Aaron Rodgers for a second there. He looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Jordan Love actually played at a college local to me, Utah State.
That's right.
I watched quite a few games with him in it, and it was like you'd see these flashes. It's like, dang, where'd that come from? But then the next play, he's like throwing an interception. It's like,
yeah.
And the whole time I'm like, I don't think he's going to be a first round pick, but if whoever gets him coaches him up, in a few years, they could have them a QB.
Yeah.
And Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, how lucky can you get as a Green Bay Packer, right? You go, you have Brett Favre, go years with Brett Favre, you win a Super Bowl with Brett Favre, then you make the transition over to Aaron Rodgers, and then he plays well. He sat behind Brett Favre. He played well. He won a Super Bowl. Now you transition to Jordan Love, who has sat behind Aaron Rodgers, and now he's in the playoffs. So what Green Bay has done is they've been doing great with our organization over there. They've been really lucky in drafting and developing their quarterbacks there. That was a great win against Dallas. And I want you to break this down more, David. But people need to realize, 'cause the first day I got, as soon as Green Bay won, I got a lot of texts from a lot of Niner fans that follow me on the show. They're like, man, Niner Beto, should we be worried about the Green Bay Packers? I said, listen, never underestimate no one. Anyone can beat anyone on any given Sunday. But if we bring our A game and the Packers bring their A game based on matchups, this is a win for the Niners easily. We are the much better team, and we're not the Dallas Cowboys by far. The defense they're going to face this Saturday is not the same type of defense they face. If you notice with the Green Bay Packers, they were hitting a lot in the middle of the field. Dallas likes to play a man. They don't have the people to do to play zone. The linebackers are not that good. We have Fred Warner. We have Greenlaw. We can play zone. We can play man. So that's something that's going to be taken away from Jordan Love, and we're going to bring that pressure. I want you to break down more and your thoughts, David, on this game against the Packers. What is one thing that worries you about the Packers if the Niners don't pay attention to it?
Aaron Jones, their running back.
Okay.
He's one of the better running backs in the league. He's been productive every NFL season. And, you know, we did have some issues stopping the run game. But we do have Armstead back. So hopefully those issues go away. And with the addition of Sebastian Joseph Day. But, yeah, their running back will put a hurting on us pretty quick if we don't keep our gaps and make tackles. You know, the broken tackles thing, that was kind of, or missing tackles, I should say. That's been a little bit of an issue for us. So if we tackle, play defense the way we can play defense, and our offense looks unstoppable. So, the Packers, they're an NFL team. You got to worry about an NFL team. It doesn't matter if they've won one game or 15. You got to, these guys they're going to bring it. They're going to come to play. And the Green Bay Packers are the first 7th seed in NFL history to win a game. There's only been 7 seeds for so many years, but they're still the first one to do it. And they're coming to our house. I honestly like our chances because we're playing at home. And look at the Jacksonville game, how we came out of the rest, the bye week. This is how I'm viewing the team's going to be. They're going to be energized. So the Green Bay Packers, they're coming to San Francisco, and I'm expecting a tight game because Matt LaFleur is a good head coach.
Yeah, he is. He is definitely a good head coach. And you, like you said, nobody needs to ever look at any team, but I think the Niners are better equipped. I'm just afraid if they start slow because of this 2-week rest, if it takes Brock Purdy a little bit to catch up and they fall behind 10 or 14 points, Green Bay Packers is not the team you want to fall behind on because they can put up points quick. What the Packers have done this year are incredible. They have gone further. I mean, they're playing on house money, right? Going into at least in my opinion, going into the Dallas game, I felt that the Packers were playing on house money. They're not even supposed to be in the playoffs. Seattle lost, blew it to the Steelers, and that gave the open door for Green Bay to go in. Green Bay beat the Bears to stay in the playoff, And then they went into Dallas like, hey, we're a bunch of young kids. I believe they're the second, or if not, the youngest team in the playoffs right now. So they went in there with like, what do we got to lose? We shouldn't even be here. And they won the coin toss. They decided to receive first, and then they ran it down the Cowboys' throat and made a statement by hitting a touchdown. And it seemed like from that point on, the Cowboys were kind of like, like the Mike Tyson used to say that, how Mike Tyson used to say when he used to fight, he's like, everybody has a game plan until they get hit in the mouth. Well, I believe that the Dallas Cowboys had a game plan until they got hit in the mouth. And to me, they didn't know how to react. I saw things happening with their receiver, CeeDee Lamb. They were talking to him. What's his name? The quarterback was Dak Prescott was overthrowing his receivers. He seemed like he wasn't settled in. He was unsettled. I mean, things got ugly for the Cowboys, and they got ugly for them fast. Hopefully, the Niners will see this tape and get their stuff together, because this is not a team you want to fall behind on, because they can score on you. What are your thoughts on that, Brian? You think this team can hurt us if we fall behind quick?
Well, at this point, any team that we fall behind on quick will hurt us, because we haven't had. So, with that, but no, I don't think they're the same type of juggernaut. I think they just they put a bunch of points up against the Cowboys. The Cowboys don't seem to do that to teams that, I don't know, maybe play with a little bit more heart, or I don't know. But right now, the Packers do have a lot of heart and emotion, and that's something hard to deal with. But the Packers, the week prior to this, they only put up like 19 points. And that was to the Bears, I think, right? So,
yeah.
Again, the Bears are a tough team, even though the record doesn't show it. But I am a little bit, not worried, but I am definitely going to keep my eyes open and hear what their interest is, see what they do with the running game, because the Packers do seem to run the ball, and then that opens up their pass, right? And we do seem to. A couple of our losses this year has been exactly that. We lost because their running game got going, and so if the Niners, Eric Armstead's supposed to be back, and that's supposed to help. We have a couple other guys coming back from on defense, so that's supposed to help. But I think just trying to play 49er football is the best way to do it. Jordan Love doesn't turn the ball over very often, but when he does, that's the key to victory for this any team, really. But the Niners, that's what we got to do, is just make Jordan Love turn the ball over a couple times. And he's been playing really well for the last 10 games. I think he's only had like 3 interceptions in the last 10 games. So we got to get him out of his comfort zone. So,
and I think we will do that. I think you bring up great points, Brian. I think we will do that. Real quick, I just want to ask you guys, if first and foremost, did you guys watch the game on Saturday, the Texans versus the Browns? And if you did, I want to get your thoughts on that game, particularly what DeMeco Ryans, how he got that team ready to play, how C.J. Stroud is playing like a freaking vet. I want to get your thoughts. If you guys seen it, whoever wants to answer first, go ahead. Whoever's seen it, if you've seen the game, and then what's your thoughts of that game? I thought that was a great game for myself, and I'm happy for DeMeco.
I watched the game, and the Texans showed up to play. They're not supposed to be in the playoffs. What were they picked to win 3 to 5 games? And here comes DeMeco with a rookie quarterback that could be the best QB to ever come out of Ohio State. And they beat the Browns in the number 1 defense. They walked all over that number 1 defense. Honestly, DeMeco Ryans is a great head coach. If he doesn't win Coach of the Year, some of these people that vote for that need to be put in jail.
I hear you, bro. I hear you. It would be a disrespect to what DeMeco did on that team. I mean, I think they were last in stopping the run, and they wound up being third against the run this year. What he's done for that defense and that team is awesome. Did you get to watch that game by any chance, Brian? And if you did, what's your thoughts on it?
I did watch it. I was up and doing things around the house as well, but then I went back and watched the highlights again. There was a couple moments where it seemed like the game was tied up or pretty close to being tied up, and then there was, I believe, a referee's decision when Joe Flacco was out there. I don't know if it was a pass interference call, but it seemed like at that moment there was a turning of the tide, right? And the Browns weren't able to ever really keep up from there. You can't win the game when you throw two picks, two interceptions for touchdowns. But when the referees do make a call, sometimes that maybe changes the game. At least gives the momentum a swing. That does have an effect. But D'Amico, no shot at him at all. You get the calls that you get on the field. He does have his team playing really well, and C.J. Stroud. Oh my gosh, really really amazing. He's got a lot of athleticism. I don't know how far it's going to take him, but he's very calm, cool, and collect. And I thought it was going to be the Browns. I thought the veteran was going to come in. Joe Flacco, was going to some way get the Browns to the championship game against maybe the Ravens. At this time, I don't know. I still think the Ravens will be in the championship game, but I don't know. The Texans are looking pretty good. Me and David was texting back and forth during the game, and they got a good defense right now. Their defense is like ball hawks out there. They're just swarming to the ball everywhere they go, and wow, what one coach can really do. Change the culture, change everything. It's happened before. It happened to us, but wow, Texans are the new team in the whole state of Texas, right?
They're definitely winning games in the playoffs, not like the other Texas and Dallas. So at least Texas has one team in Houston. They can win a playoff game with a rookie quarterback and a rookie coach. On the note of the Cowboys,
hear a fun stat?
What's up with that stat? Share with us, brother.
The Texans have 2 more playoff wins than the Cowboys since the Cowboys won their last Super Bowl.
Yeah, that is so true. That is true. Cowboys. The Cowboys. Listen, I know we haven't won a Super Bowl, and we're in the hunt this year. Hopefully, this is the year. But we went to 2 Super Bowls in 2012 and 2019. We didn't get the outcome that we wanted. A lot of people say Super Bowl bust. That's an opinion that I don't agree on. I think it's a goal that you miss out on. You set your goal to go to the Super Bowl, and if you don't reach it, it's a failed goal. But I think it's not a bust season because you made it to the Super Bowl or you made it to the playoffs, in my opinion. But you got the team like the Dallas Cowboys. The last time they've been to an NFC Championship game was in '96 when they went to the Super Bowl. Forget about the Super Bowl. They haven't even made it to the NFC Championship game. And real quick, before I go any further, those in the comments, the gentleman, Ramelia Sports Report, is not the actual Rudy. So if you want to talk with him, that's fine. But keep in mind, it's not Rudy. I got Rudy's personal phone number. I text him to see if it was Rudy, and it's not Rudy. So just take that for what it is. He's been cool what he's saying, but keep that in mind. We got imposters in the house, but it's all right. We got to love them too. Why not show your own name? I don't know, but that's just me. But yeah, man, what the Texans did are great. I believe the Buffalo Bills won today. I know they played the Steelers, right? So
33-17.
It looks like it's going to be Buffalo hosting Kansas City. That's going to be an interesting game to watch. The Patrick Mahomes against Josh Allen in Buffalo. And then you got Houston going into Baltimore next week. And you already know we're hosting the Packers. And I believe that the winner of this game tonight, it seems like it's Tampa, they will be heading to Detroit. And Detroit's hosting their second playoff game because the Cowboys couldn't win their first game. And now the Lions are the highest seed besides us. So It looks like it's going to be the winner of this team facing the Detroit Lions. Did you guys watch the Detroit Lions? And if you did, your thoughts? It was a close game. The Detroit won by 1 point. It was back and forth. The Rams are looking good. I don't like the Rams during our division, but I love football. I have no problem giving credit where credit is due. I can't pronounce his name. I keep forgetting. Number 17. Puka Nacua. Thank you. I forget. I can pronounce. I just forgot how to his name. But yeah, Puka Nacua, Karen Williams, last year's pick at running back, had been playing well. That offensive line's a little bit better. You can never count out Sean McVay. He's one hell of a coach there in LA. They were supposed to be in rebuild mode, and they took some players. This is the beautiful thing about the draft. You hit on certain players, and you can go from winning 4 games to winning 9 games, 10 games easily. They hit on, not only did they hit on number 17, but they hit on 91, which is our Turner. Turner, he's another D tackle. He played as good, if not better, than Aaron Donald. They might have Aaron Donald's replacement. So they hit that. They hit the young kid, the edge. So they need a couple more linebackers. I want to get your guys' thought. I'll go ahead with you, Brian, then David, on the Rams and Detroit. What were your thoughts on it? What did you like about Detroit? What did you not like? And the same thing goes with the Rams.
Again, it was a game I was, up and around the house. Actually, we've been, like, I guess spring cleaning, if you want to say,
Okay.
but we've been moving around a lot of stuff. So the TV was definitely on. I was definitely watching the scores and stuff like that, but did I catch every play? No, I did not. But for me, what it looked like, it was a back and forth game. And it felt to me like it was a lot of the Detroit Lions fans just showed pride in their team and it looked to me a lot of energy to the Lions. The Rams did put up a fight, but it didn't seem like that was. And then it comes down to the kicker at the end. I think didn't it? It came down to 1 point, and it was. Oh, I was looking at the end of the game. I thought the Rams. I thought the Rams were going to run the ball a little bit more, and like try to get the clock out, but they ended up giving the ball back to. I'm sorry, the Lions give the ball back to the Rams, and it just. I thought the game should have been over a little bit sooner, but. It was a good game. I really, I called the Rams to lose. I wanted to see the Detroit Lions win, and I think we have a good chance to see them in the championship game if we take care of business and they take care of business against either the Buccaneers or the Eagles.
Imagine that. Over 30 years, they have not won a playoff game in Detroit. Detroit's been a fan base that has been mediocrity every year, losing seasons. Always in the cellar, and what they have done by adding Dan Campbell and adding the guy from the Rams as a GM, I forgot his name. They have done some great things in Detroit. And I want to get your thoughts, David. Like Brian just said, if they win this, if they're going to host the winner of tonight, if they win that game at home, not only have they won their second game in second playoff game in over 30 years. They're going to be in the NFC Championship game. Can you imagine Detroit fans, how they're going to go crazy knowing they're going to be in the NFC Championship with a chance to make it to, and God forbid, the worst, that they go through to the Super Bowl. OMG. They're going to tear down Detroit badly down there. What's your thoughts on that, David?
Well, I watched the game. And Detroit jumped out on them. I thought they were just going to keep their foot on the gas and walk the dog, That was it. But the Rams fought back. And, coming down to the end, I was going, Detroit's not going to win this. And the ball bounced their way. They got a first down or two late in the game. And made Sean McVay use his final timeout, which he only had one getting late in the game, so that did hurt them. But congratulations, Detroit fans. Does anyone remember a guy named Don Burr when we
Yes.
played Detroit?
Yes, Detroit.
Does
Yep.
anyone? So he has this saying, Detroit versus everyone. But yeah, it was like I watched that game and they did, Tommy. They did almost choke it. Yes, but at that point, I don't think there had been a good football game because most of the games are multiple possession wins,
There you go. You got
and
it out.
that means the team's blowing them out.
Yep.
And time for a good game here and there. Like, I don't know if someone could throw the score. I'm not watching the Tampa Bay game because I would have my TV on and it would be reflecting off my glasses and
It's
whatnot.
Tampa Bay 16, Eagles 9.
Yep.
9, huh?
It's 2 minutes and 28 seconds left to go to the half. Hold on, guys.
We interrupt this program to bring you an important announcement. For more awesome content, like and subscribe now.
There you go, guys. For more awesome content, make sure to follow David's channel. David McNiner has his YouTube channel. We all know Bryant Culp has his beautiful wife has hers. Make sure to go and support them. They are amazing people. They bring out amazing content. They talk about 49ers. They entertain. They interact with all the viewers on their channel. I can't speak enough about Brian, the impression that he's made upon me as a husband and a father. I mean, this guy, I hope I don't embarrass you, Brian, but I do. You're way younger than me, but I do look up to you as a person of example when it comes to marriage. I know no marriages are perfect. Nobody's perfect. Everybody has their issues, but the person you are, bro, stay true to yourself always, Brian. Always stay true to yourself because you are an amazing person, a great friend, and your lovely wife and kids support you. You support them, and I can't say enough. And then meeting David, getting to know David. David's that gentle guy. How can you not like that white bald-headed dude right there? How can you not like him? This guy is, look at him. He's better look. He's better. He's a skinnier version of me. This is me before the burrito. This is me after the burrito. But I am honored of being friends with David and Brian, man, and those, everyone in the chat, even Tommy Huxley. I love that dude. Tommy is who he is. He speaks his mind, but that's what we love about the community, right? Is that we got all backgrounds in the community. We are gathered today because of Korey, the man that we love and respect, the man that has been gone from earth, but it hasn't been gone from our hearts, will never be gone from our hearts. As long as we're all breathing and part of this world, Korey will be reminded. We will bring up Korey in one way or another because he's an amazing guy. That's how cool and awesome Korey. And every time I watch a game, I talk to Korey. I'll say, "Hey, Korey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that?" And I don't care what people think. Korey's. I think I talk to him more now than I did when he was alive, and that's sad, but that is the truth. But Brian and David have truly stayed close to Korey, and they were, always talking, always hanging out with him, and so much respect for you guys, man, for doing everything. And then honor to David McNiner for keeping up the tradition of Korey. Every Wednesday, please give a shout out what you do on Wednesdays for Korey, what it is. Let everybody know. Those, I think a lot of us already know, but just remind us again what you're taking over again for Korey and what does it mean?
Well, I do the Korey Lockdown Davis NFL Pick Show, and there was a point in time where it was just me and him on his channel. We might have had one person watching. Shout out to Bebop because I believe he was always the one person at first. And I kind of felt like it was a way I could honor him, and I'm going to continue doing it for the rest of my life. This off season, I'm actually gonna. He started trivia this last off season, so this off season, I'm gonna continue that tradition too. I'm gonna find a trivia book that has questions that makes you question your you know
Your
49er
knowledge.
fan card. It's gonna make you question that, but I will find a book that makes you go, how are you supposed to know that? That's actually
Yeah.
that's what Korey did to us. He found this book that had, oh my goodness, it was some of the hardest questions. Most of my answers were process of elimination. I get it down from like multiple choice. There's 4 choices. I get it down to there's only 2 possibilities, and I would guess. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't get to, again, I didn't get to join many of those. As you guys obviously, or more than I wanted to. I wanted to do more, and I didn't get to do that. But like I said, I like to watch a lot of the replays because I'm a guy that's up really late at night. I don't go to bed until about 5 or 6 in the morning, so I'm watching videos of you guys and catching up on that. And I see how much fun you guys had, and just lifting up Corey's spirit. And just keeping him engaged and keeping his mind occupied from normal worries of this world and being sick. And you guys were always understanding. Like there were times that I would see you guys on video and Korey wasn't feeling good, and Brian and David, you guys were always like, "Hey Korey, you okay? Hey, you need to for us to take over. You need to go lay down." And Korey would be like, "No, I'm good. I'm good." But you guys were always noticed that, and it's. I know you guys were blessed to know Korey, but I know Korey was double blessed to know you guys. You guys made an impact in his life as well, and I'm glad that Korey had Brian and David to depend on in certain things. And I know you guys probably had your phone calls and discussions of certain things, and Brian even went when Korey was in his death's bed, and he was kind of at the last moments of his life. Brian went and took his phone and had Korey, and he called me, and I'm pretty sure he called everybody on his phone book. And he didn't have to call me, but this is who Brian is. He didn't have to call me. He could have called those, and maybe they were always in the chat more than me, but he thought of me, and I will always cherish that I got to talk to Korey and say a couple words to him. And I kept it short because I understand, for one, Korey was having a hard time getting out words, and I knew Brian wanted to go around and call people, so I took that into consideration. But I got a few seconds to say hi to Korey, and that's all because of Brian's sacrifice. And I know he doesn't see it as a sacrifice; he sees it as a thing to do as a friend, but it is. And that takes a lot of heart. And I know if David was living in California, he'll do the same thing. But he's in Utah, so it's not as easy for him to just jump on a plane. But he's the type of guy as well to do it as well. So I know Korey was blessed with you guys as friends. And you guys are amazing, man. You guys are awesome, awesome people that I'm blessed to know. You guys have huge hearts, man. It's hard to make friends. It's easy to make acquaintances, but it's hard to make friends. Real friends stick by you to the thick and thin. Real friends don't judge you based on your mistakes and your error. Nobody's perfect. We are going to make mistakes, but we find a way to overlook those if you're a true friend. Acquaintances don't overlook mistakes. Friendship and friends do. And I just want to continue to give... as we acknowledge Korey, as we come to an hour, we're going to shut this down, or we're already at an hour. I just want to say for everyone watching this live right now or watches on a replay that as much as we love Korey and we miss Korey, Korey's spirit will live amongst us, and particularly these two gentlemen on the screen right now, even more than myself, Brian and David. David's carrying on the tradition of the trivia every Wednesday for Korey. Brian is always mixing there some way, somehow, doing something for Korey. So I just want, honestly, and I don't mean to put you guys on the spot, but I just want to give David and Brian an applause because you guys truly deserve it. Thank you for being a good friend to Korey. Thank you for being there for Korey. And Brian, thank you for going and taking your phone and calling me and allowing me to speak to Korey during that time, bro. I will never forget that. I appreciate you, my friend. Is there anything you guys have going on in your channels before, Brian, I'll go with you and then we'll give it to David and then we'll close out this show. Is there anything going on in your channels or anything, last thing you want to say about Korey? Go for it.
Yeah, as far as my channel goes, if you guys aren't subscribed, please subscribe. I'm doing just different things with, just a lot of different things. A lot of things with David, but I'm having a lot of fun on my channel. And because of Korey, I've gotten myself out and been able just to have a lot more fun interacting with people. And I really do appreciate it. Yeah, I just want to do the same thing for other people that I would hope that they would do for me. And Korey, he told me he was sick a long time ago, and he told me to take, an opportunity if I can, check up on him. So I did for a long time, for good amount of days. Called him almost every day, or tried to see that he was, active in a group or something. Seeing that he's still okay. So friendship means a lot to people, and it means really a lot to me. And thank you, Beto. Appreciate you as a friend as well, and David as well, and other people. And the one thing I did want to say is we do things on Friday nights. A lot of content creators get together, and if you ever type in Korey Davis, you might see something that says Korey Davis Variety or Korey Davis with friends, but it's Korey Davis Friday Night with Friends, and we try to throw his name out there as much as possible because one thing is. It's not regardless, but we lost Korey. He's a great guy and a good friend, but other people we've lost too. And I want to tell everybody, if you want to keep that person alive, you gotta say their name. And the last time that person is acknowledged, or really the moment that they do pass on, is the last time their name's spoken or read or mentioned. And we can keep mentioning his name, he's going to still be around. We got him up to, I want to say 433 subscribers. We didn't get him to where he was at now when he was alive. We got him to about 200, and he was really excited about that. So if you're not subscribed to Korey Davis, there's a lot of good content. You're on the road driving or something, you want to listen to something, and somebody who's mature and, has class, and it's funny, that would be the way to go. So thank you again, Beto.
Before I let you go on, David, real quick, I'll give you the mic. I had a question, and if you guys can't answer it here, you guys can let me know afterwards, or if you don't know the answer. But have you guys had a chance to talk to Korey's family about getting maybe his password to his channel, and then when you guys do the Wednesday nights, you guys can do it on his channel and keep building his channel up? I don't know if you guys ever even thought of that, keeping his channel alive by doing content on his channel, or something that. If you guys can't answer that, that's fine. But something to think about that just came into my mind, to kind of keep them alive. David, what do you got going on your channel, my friend? And any last words you want to say tonight before we go?
Well, on my channel, we'll have if you YouTube search Korey Lockdown Davis, there's going to be a lot of stuff come up too, folks.
Okay.
So we're having the Korey Lockdowns Davis NFL Pick Show. It's the playoff version.
Okay,
and, cool. Friday we'll be on Bryant Culp's channel for the Niners Coast to Coast. So this weekend, who's doing the Friday night show, Brian? Is it
Terradome and Twin?
Yep. So
dude, I dropped the ball on that.
Korey Davis Friday night show. We'll have a whole bunch of content creators on there. Some folks aren't content creators. They just join us for the fun of it. Kind of like Hollywood Squares.
Yeah, I seen it. Yeah, I actually dropped the ball. My apologies, Brian. I just realized, oh crap, it's the first week of each month, and so I am. Yeah, when it comes to, I might have the size, I might have the body of an elephant, but not the memory of one. I got to work on that. But as you can tell, I'm a big boy. I don't have a problem making fun of myself. That's who I am, though. But my apologies, Bryant.
No, we'll get it all ironed out. The holidays hit us pretty hard, and we weren't expecting to lose Korey either. And it happens. But yeah, just we'll keep talking. We got the group, and you got my number as well. So
definitely.
So,
All right, guys.
one more thing.
Go ahead.
The Korey got to see our 49ers dismantle the Eagles, folks, before he transitioned.
Let's go.
He got to see that game. So,
yep. And he celebrated.
I'm gonna miss Korey. It's actually kind of been strange to me doing all the shows and everything without him. It has been.
Yep.
I can imagine so, but what you guys are doing is keeping like I'm sorry, I forgot. I think Brian brought it up, but if it was you, David, my apologies about. In order to keep someone alive, you got to keep mentioning their name. I think it was Brian. You have to keep mentioning their names. I lost a lot of people in my life. I lost my two sisters, my mom and dad. I lost cousins, nephews to OD, to hanging themselves, suicide. And you got to keep their memory going by mentioning their name. Because if we don't keep it going while we're alive, who will? So that's an honest, even if you don't do it in a public format, like if you have a YouTube, but anybody in your family, anybody in your loved ones you might have lost, just bring them up. Talk to, in parties, when you go to Christmas parties or you go to birthday parties, bring that person up. Say, hey guys, I just want to take a moment to acknowledge so-and-so. I just want to take a knowledge. And that's a way of keeping them alive. And you don't know how far that would carry, because then you bring it up on a party, that person remembers, and then that person carries it on with a torch, and you don't know how long it goes. But Brian is right. If you want to keep somebody alive, the best way to do it is keep mentioning their name in front of family and loved ones. Well, guys, it was an honor to do this show. Thank you, David McNiner and Brian Colt, for joining me tonight. It was an honor and pleasure having you. I would not have anyone else but you two on this show. Thank you, everyone who tuned in, for your love for Korey, your respect for Korey. Me and David were David brought it up before we went live. He's like, hey, bro, you already got like how many, 14, 15 likes before the show even started. That's unheard of. But I knew it wasn't because my show or whatever. It's because of the respect and love that each and every one of you have for one Korey Davis. And you guys honored him by hitting that like button prior to doing the show. And you guys are amazing. Give yourself a hand of applause. You deserve it for coming in here today, being positive about Korey. Love you guys. We got to do this more often. Keep remembering it. And I need to get my crap together on Wednesdays and join you guys, and particularly on Fridays as well. All right, guys, we are out of here. Thank you for participating with us. We love you guys. And on to the next Niner Sickness podcast. We are out of here. Peace. Love you, Korey.
Go Niners.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.